Okay, I don't know exactly how you go about putting the hood on, but I have a pretty good idea. So I'm not a body man, but first thing I'm going to do is I put the hood scoop on the hood about where I want it. And it lines up good, it looks good, so I'm just going to take some measurements and make sure that I'm kind of reasonably dimensioned on the hood. So there's 7.5 inches there. About 7 1/4 there, so we can come over about an 8. That was a big 8. We'll go to 7 5/8. 7 5/8 there. 11 1/8 there. 11 1/4 there, so that means that we're just a teeny bit crooked. 11 1/4. 11 3/4. See how just a small amount moves things a great deal because of geometry. 7 3/4. 11 1/2. So that's not looking too awful terrible bad. So it's like then get back and look at it from a little ways back. It looks pretty good. So I've got another way to check it. I'll show you here in a second. So another way to check too would be to line up the center of the hood in the front with the center of that ridge, and then there's the center of the cowl is that tape mark, and line of sight doesn't line up pretty much on that mark. So that's the next move I'll make. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now I'll go around and I'll measure this point, and 4 corners and make sure that it's somewhere out in the middle of the hood where I want it. So I measured these 4 points. Distance from here to here on both sides is 7 5/8, almost exactly. So we're within less than a 1/16. Same thing with here, it's 11 1/2, both sides. So we know now that we've got the hood scoop somewhere out in the middle. Now, what we need to do is I'm going to use tape, and I'm going to outline where the hood sits on, or the hood scoop sits on the hood, and make an outline of it so I can always put it back in the same place. And this is going to come in handy later too. So now I'll have an outline of where the hood is going to sit. The hood scoop is going to sit on the hood, so I can always put it right back in the same place. Okay, these are the fasteners that came in the kit. They were proud of these. They charged me 30 bucks, but I'm guessing that this is what they want you to do, is put a hole there and then tab, and then we're going to screw through the bottom side of the hood into that. So the next thing to do is to put our holes in. And I don't think I need to do serious measuring. I can pretty much eyeball that. Okay, so the next drill I'm going to use is this one, because you've got shorter steps here between the diameters, so I won't have to poke so far through the holes. cleaning video. Okay, so the nut clips are installed and the screws are in there. It's kind of what I suspected. The back ones are way too long. I'm going to have to either get some shorter ones. I can belt sand them down, but they're a little bit of a self-tapping deal. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we're going to drill the holes and mark them anyways. So the plan is I'll put a dab of grease on each bolt head. Each bolt head, put a dab of grease, and then set it on the hood, and wherever these dabs of grease set, this is the outside line of the hood. This is where the bolts are going to go, is along here. So wherever we see a grease spot, that's where we'll drill the hole. It's kind of a transfer punch method. So you could take the time to, I don't know, make 10 or 12 set screws up with points and set them on there, and that would be even more precise, but I don't think we need to get that precise. We just have to have a good idea where to put those holes on the hood, because there's no way to tell from underneath the hood. So you can see I got a little dab of axle grease on each bolt, and now just pick it up, flip it over, and set it on my guide marks, and then give them a light tap to make sure that they make contact. Okay, so I've got a grease mark where each hole will go, and it's on the tape, which is kind of nice. So now I know where to put the holes to line up on the bolts and the hood scoop. So this method worked, I think, worked pretty good. So now I just got to get up the courage to start popping holes in my beautiful hood. I'll flip the hood open and see if those holes make sense. There's going to be hood bracing and stuff in the way, but most of them will be in the flat part of the hood, but some of them are going to go through hood bracing, which is going to kind of present a little bit of a challenge. So I'm sure that a couple of these holes are going to line up where it's going to come out on this brace. So what I'm going to do is, when I get the holes located on the hood and get the scoop on there, then I'm going to take a transfer punch from the top side and drop it down in the hole and then give it a smack. And what that'll do is that'll dimple this and show me where that hole is. Then I'm just gonna cut a bigger hole here, big enough to get a socket and a wrench in to get those bolts in. That's the way we'll approach that. So I think I got a pretty solid plan, so just got to execute it. Okay, got the holes all drilled, deburred. Same thing on the bottom side. This I had to open up big enough to get a socket in and the screw. Same thing on this side. Hopefully we got enough room to get some of these screws in. Right, this is what gets a little bit annoying, is I paid $30 for this bolt kit and it really doesn't work because you've got webbing here, and then you've got double thickness here, so those screws don't reach to get started because they have a long start on them because they're supposed to somewhat self-align. So I went to the Napa store, and there really isn't too much choice in these, so I wound up having to go buy a bunch of different length 1024 screws because it's a 24 pitch 1024 thread, and I'll just have to look like the fasteners all came out of the coffee can somewhere. So it would have been worth paying the 30 bucks if they'd have had their act together, but being that I had to go spend all afternoon driving around looking for screws, it kind of was useless. Well, there you have it. Hood scoop installation. It went well. The holes that I drilled lined up perfectly with the nuts. The marking method worked out good, and I'm really happy with it, other than I'm not happy about the fasteners, but I'll change that as I go down the road. Any comments or any suggestions for color? I'm intending to go with matching the hood. If you have a different idea, let me know your ideas. Go ahead and put it in comments. If you would please hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously with algorithms, I guess. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And then if you are a subscriber and you've been following my videos, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you the next time on Dave's Garage 249.